Hi, this is Dr. David Norton, and I'm preparing this video for GrowingOurPractice.com, and it's about creating a practice-wide marketing system. So before we get too far into it, I want to just think a little bit about how all businesses grow. And of course, they have to begin with a popular product, or if you think an iPhone, for example, it had to be developed and created, and then you have to figure out how to consistently let people know about it, that is, markets who might be interested in purchasing that product. And then you keep that cycle going, and you develop a business. So for us, it's psychotherapy that is our product and our service, and we have to figure out how to do the marketing piece. And once we get that dynamic going, then we will grow. So the first part was figuring out how to do therapy, but the hardest part was actually learning how to market. We have graduate degrees about doing therapy, but we get no training about the marketing piece. And so that was really hard for us, both as individuals and as an organization. And we had 20 years of false starts until we could accomplish two things. One, we found methods that comfortably got us out of our offices and in front of referrers, the people that were actually going to keep us in business. And then we had to develop a consistent and systematic way of being accountable to each other so that everybody was on the same page and aware of what was going on. So what that began to look like was this. We got stuck. We got stuck at about 13,000 sessions and 13 therapists for 3 years in a row. This was 2004, 5, and 6. And that was not where we wanted to be. You can see that the one is highlighting the number of sessions per year, and the other is the number of therapists per year, which of course is parallel. And the way to grow, of course, is being able to hire therapists that do sessions, and those sessions then help you grow. So for 3 years we were stuck, and then in January of 2006 we began a new program that we called our Community Connection Plans, and I'm going to explain that in a bit, what that was. And then 5 years later, you can see that we had 25,000 sessions and 26 therapists. So we almost doubled our size in 5 years by virtue of, in my opinion, learning how to do the marketing piece, learning what community connection plans are. So what is a community connection plan? Well, it's really this. It's pretty simple. We quarterly have each of our clinicians write up a plan for a few things. One are what are the niche areas that you want to focus on. Secondly, the target referrers that you want to refer the types of clients that are your niche. So if you're an eating disorder specialist, then who are the people that refer for eating disorders, etc. And then thirdly, bullet points listing the actual tasks you want to do in order to accomplish that connection with new referrers. And we want that in 3-month units. So we ask people to write those up every quarter, and then what they're also doing is updating their previous plan. Nobody actually does everything on their previous plan in that 3-month area. They get most of it done, and probably they did some things they didn't plan on doing. So then what happens with both of those is they get emailed to one of our clinicians who coordinates this, and then sends all of those to the rest of our clinical staff. So everybody has an opportunity to see what everybody else is doing on their community connection plan, which is pretty great because they can team up and learn from each other. And we don't have very many times when our clinicians actually have one-on-one kind of connections with new referrers. They're teaming up and doubling up, and that really helps, makes it easier. So I just want to show you 5 of our most comfortable marketing favorites, what we call them. One is good case consultation, which means just following up with existing clients and the referrers that sent those clients to you. And doing that is probably enough. If we just did that well, we'll probably grow. But of course we have some other things, sending thank you notes for every referral that comes in, and of course we have to get permission from our client to do that. But usually just telling them that it's a thank you note and not really much clinical information is enough for them to agree. So a thank you note to the referrers, then taking referrers to lunch, especially when you're new in town or the referrer is new in town. You want to get to know them. bring them food, put them in your schedule to bring food. So we had regular times when we would bring food to our referring people, especially around the holidays. Although we found that we got more bang for our buck if we did it other times than the holidays, because everybody was bringing food at the holiday times. The fifth thing was just providing a free service, doing a presentation for referrer, trainings, in-services, thinking of schools, etc. And of course, our favorite types of referrers tended to be schools, physicians, and clergy. Those were the three big ones. These 5 things, if you just master these 5, you will grow. It doesn't take real fancy marketing activities, just consistently doing things. So our clinicians then are doing this marketing and quarterly plans, and they're keeping each other informed. And then supporting that are our support staff, who are taking the calls, scheduling clients, working on the claims, insurance claims, and billing to clients, and then the collections part. And they're supporting us in consistent ways on their front. When you put it all together, it starts to get multiplied. And so we have, now we have 10 support staff and a bunch of clinicians. I think at current point time, probably about 35, 38 clinicians. So, and then of course our leadership team. So that's a really brief summary, but if you want more resources, here's my website, and you might be interested in looking up the post on community-based marketing method, the community connection plans, where I write out some of the things that we're talking about on this video. And then spectacular belly flops in marketing, which are some of my most embarrassing efforts that did not go well. Thanks.